Hey, Winter.
Hey, Lee.
Why does a hamburger go to the gym?
To the Gime?
To the Gime.
I don't know.
To get buns of still.
Buns of steel. That's good.
Hungry Squared, bringing you the best food talk anywhere.
Welcome to the Hunger Squared podcast, where the brain and belly meet. I'm Lee from Bees Knees Waffles.
And I'm Winter from theredparty.com. This week, we went on a field trip, Lee.
It was a wonderful field trip.
Yeah, Sharon was there too, and we just happened to, I'm glad that Lee's here, but we went on a field trip to McDonald's and kind of talked about their restaurant design because they are introducing their 100% fresh beef patties. And so we were pretty excited to be invited by McDonald's to check it out.
It was wonderful. We got a wonderful backstage tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
It's cool. So let's talk about it. Hey, Lee.
Hey.
Hey, thanks for coming on today. I know there was a little bit of scheduling conflicts, even though we were with Sharon just a little while ago for the event. So thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
We are recording this after the event that we had at McDonald's. And so you're going to hear, we actually got to meet some other bloggers and influencers, which was super fun on our segment, What'd You Eat This Week?
There was 4 of them.
Yeah. So we hope you check their stuff out because they are doing some cool stuff. And so here it is. Okay, you guys, we're here with Kathy from Go Adventure Mom. Yay!
Hey, guys!
Thanks for being on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me. Kathy, what'd you eat this week? So, you guys, we went to Trader Joe's, and my friend was there, because I never know what to get at Trader Joe's. And, randomly, my friend was there with a shopping cart full of all the goodness.
What did your friend have?
She had this amazing, I think it's Gorgonzola cheese gnocchi.
Oh.
That I took home and cooked it in the stir fry.
What?
Pot.
Like a wok?
Like a wok, yes.
Oh.
And
wait, was it frozen or
frozen? So the cheese is frozen in sections, and then the gnocchi's frozen, but the way it heated in the wok, the cheese got kind of crunchy.
Oh yeah,
and
that's what I'm talking about.
All absorbed into the gnocchi. You guys, we now have 4 of them, for the bags, frozen for emergency purposes.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case
you need it the very
But my
next
husband
day.
was like, the gnocchi. This is the best gnocchi I've had.
I love gnocchi. It's the best. Okay, so this is one thing I'm going to say about Trader Joe's is that I feel like I only go in there for from recommendations. I don't know what to get there, but people are like, you need to get this. You need to get this. Oh, okay.
I get flowers at Trader Joe's because they are gorgeous, and it's always about $5 or less.
Oh, see, that's where
and it's happy.
All of their snacks.
Yeah,
I get all of the snacks.
But it's so helpful to have somebody there say, oh, you need this and you need this. And I was like, oh, I do need this.
You're right. You're right. Well, that sounds awesome. I'm going to have to try that now because I've got a recommendation.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a good recommendation. And Kathy, thanks for inviting us.
Hey, anytime.
Yeah.
Thanks for being up for big, crazy ideas.
This is good.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. We're still sitting in the McDonald's and we're podcasting and I'm full.
Yeah.
I'm really full.
Awesome.
Where can we find you, Kathy?
GoAdventureMom.com.
And she also has a podcast, people, just like us, party people. So
Go Adventure Mom Podcast.
Yep, just go find her on
Go Adventure Mom.
Yep, you'll find her. It's pretty awesome. She does some cool stuff. I love it.
And fun giveaways.
And we're taking a selfie right now.
All right, so we are at McDonald's, and we are with Stephanie from the Salt Project.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on, Stephanie.
Thanks for having me.
Stephanie, what did you eat here at McDonald's today? What did you eat this week?
I tried their new fresh quarter pounder, and it was delicious and super juicy.
The fresh beef quarter pounder, yeah.
Yes. I've been a long time quarter pounder lover, and this was the best one I've ever had. So
isn't that crazy?
Way to go, McDonald's.
I know.
Yeah.
What was different about it?
Just super juicy, flavorful, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I concur.
That's because they're using the fresh beef.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can definitely tell a difference now with the beef patties versus before.
Right.
And I saw your entire family here, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I know about Stephanie. I have actually never met her in person. I follow you on Instagram so we can do stuff with our daughter, Lucy. So Stephanie does all the social media for the Salt Project, and it's encouraging families to go out and do things, and they provide a lot of cool things to do outside. and things to see and do. So
we just want to share fun things to do with families. So anything from hiking to different events that are happening locally, we try to cover it all and just inform families. Because I feel like there's not really a place to find that information. You know, our parents had the newspaper, and we don't. So there was kind of a need in the market to find out this information, and so we started a website, and that's what we do now. So
I think it's awesome.
And where can we find you and your information?
So we're on Instagram at saltproject.co. We're also on Facebook, and our website is saltproject.co, not .com, .co.
.co. They're a
Yeah,
company.
so we have, vacation ideas, road trip ideas, field trips, you name it. We cover it all.
Yeah, it's so awesome. It's such a good, you guys, seriously, great resource. So thanks, Stephanie, for coming
Thank
on
you
today.
so
We really
much.
appreciate it.
And it was so nice to meet you guys.
So
Good
nice to meet you
them.
finally.
Yes.
We are here with Valerie from Chew and Chat, and we are at McDonald's at a food influencer event. So, Valerie, what did you eat this week?
Well, I just got done eating a wonderful signature crafted burger.
Ooh, which one did you have?
It has bacon and a barbecue sauce and crispy onions and the sautéed onions. So you get kind of two different little onion things, It's kind of weird to get crazy about onions, but, they do really add a little bit of a punch to everything that you have. So
They're good flavor.
It's good.
That's my favorite one, honestly.
Yeah,
That's
it
my
was
favorite
good.
signature burger.
It was good. And I like the idea, that they're doing it, that they are cooking it fresh. And so I was really happy when we went back and we saw some of the ways that they're keeping it, making sure that fresh is really fresh and that it's sanitary, with using gloves and temperature controls, refrigerated trucks, and all the ways that they're really doing a lot of quality control with it. So that made me happy too.
Yeah, they check on the meat a ton.
But I think this is one that's kind of a grown-up kind of thing that I would like. I like the crafted My Taste or something that they had out a little while ago, and I guess it just took too long to cook. So they didn't do it.
So they went over, and I think maybe because that's why they've shifted to the fresh beef, right?
I think
is
that's
what
why they
said.
shifted to it. So it's kind of a compromise that this is going to be quicker to cook, and you can get it through the drive-thru, and you don't have to wait 5 to 7 minutes.
Right.
But it is something that's a little bit more care that's been taken with it. So that was great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you wanted anything else that I've eaten today. I made a wonderful, because it is nice and cold. This is the time that my husband, and he likes soup. And I have a soup cookbook called Soups On.
You have a soup cookbook?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 100 soups that you can make most of them you can make in a half hour or less,
What?
believe it or not.
Which one did you make then?
So I made a chicken vegetable one that it doesn't take very long to make. And most of the ones the recipes that I have, you don't have to do a lot of slicing and dicing things. But this one you do have to dice, chicken and carrots and celery and things like that. But it's so good. And so we had that earlier today, and I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be in the mood for a burger, but it worked out okay.
Where can we find your cookbook?
Yeah. Now what?
Where can we find your cookbook?
Well, you can find it on Amazon now. It was at Seagull Book and Deseret Book, and I'm not sure if they've sold out of it. It's been around for about 5 years now, and I think it's sold about 10,000 copies.
Oh
so
my
far.
goodness, Valerie, that's
It's-
awesome.
So yeah, but it was this fun book, because a lot of people who don't like to cook, and they just don't, I had friends who I would, write a food column, and they would say, oh, that looks really good. I like the pictures, but I just don't think I would go home and make that, because it would just take me too long. And so I thought, okay, what could you do in a half hour when you get home from work? Put a jar of salsa with some already prepared chicken, and you can make a nice salsa chicken soup out of that.
Oh, my goodness.
Just lots of different things that you can make
Wow.
really quick.
That's awesome. Okay, Valerie, tell us where we can find you.
I'm at chewandchat.com.
Thanks so much, Valerie, for
Yeah,
coming on tonight.
thank
And it was so
you.
nice to meet you.
It was
Yeah, it was
really
really
fun,
nice to
and
meet
I'm
you.
so happy to know somebody with the name of Winter. It's really made me think, hey, that would be a cool name. I'd
It's a
never
fun
thought
name.
of it before.
I like
is a
it.
fun name. Yeah, I really like that name. So thank you very much for having me on your
Thanks,
show.
Valerie.
Thanks, Valerie.
We are here with Becky from Utah Sweet Savings. And Becky, what did you eat this week?
Oh, what did I eat this week? Probably way too much. To be honest, I am not the cook in the family. My husband is the cook in the family.
That's my
the way to
household
go.
too. It really is.
It really works quite well for me, actually. But his specialty that we had this week, he is Smith's, our local grocery store, has been having a sale on ribeye.
Ooh.
They what? They
A
have
sale.
what?
Yes, a sale. Because that's what we do, right?
Yeah, you guys, yep.
Yeah.
She does all the savings, you guys.
So we hooked up some ribeye, and he has a smoker, actually, too. Just an electric smoker. Put some sort of
Wood chips
or something, right? Because that's not what I do. In there, smoke them for a few hours, then throws them on the grill
Ooh.
with some, this is a weird Old Bay seasoning. So
That stuff is so
I love
universal.
right?
Yeah, Old Bay
so
seasoning is
that's
so good.
delicious, and I know that one because I'm in charge of buying it. But yeah, and it melt in your mouth, you guys.
Yummy.
Just unbelievably
How long
delicious.
did he smoke it for?
Oh, at least a couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tenderizing it.
There's nothing quite like smoked meat, but then finishing it off on the grill gives it
You
that
got a nice
that
sear.
seared. Yeah, for sure. You have to have that. I do know that enough.
I know.
Yummy.
I'll make the salad. I'm excellent at making a salad. Chop up a lot of veggies and we're good to go. So
That is awesome.
that was definitely top on the meal list.
awesome.
And Becky, where can we find you?
So I'm at Utah Sweet Savings.
And you do all about savings, coupons, deals.
Online deals, tons of online shopping deals. We do a lot of food.
Okay.
I love posting about
yeah.
how to find a great deal on some food.
Oh, yeah.
And not just Utah, but we do love our Utah events too. We
Okay.
have like lists for like the Easter egg hunts here in Utah,
sweet.
and keep you knowing what's going on around here too. So it's
That's
great fun.
That's perfect. Well, thanks so much, Becky, for coming on
Thanks
today. It
for
was
having
so
me.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
And now for the main course. All right, Winter, let's get down to our first topic at hand, the field trip at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Why were we there?
Okay, well, it was really nice of McDonald's to invite us. They're introducing their 100% fresh beef patties, and that has kind of been a change for them because a lot of times in the past, they've used frozen. They originally started out, I think, with fresh and then moved back to frozen just because of logistics and stuff. And then they kind of got a demand. They listened to their customers, and the customers wanted fresh beef. And so
they're introducing fresh beef into their quarter pounders, their double quarter pounders, and their
their signature crafted burgers. Yep. And they have those signature crafted sandwiches. I usually get the burger. I don't know if you remember this or not.
Oh, yeah.
But I usually get their burger with the crispy fried onions and
Barbecue
sauce and the bacon. That's the one I usually get. So they invited us, and they wanted to, we were drawn to the idea of chatting with them because this was a big logistical restaurant design, workflow change for them.
McDonald's had to change quite a bit of how they operate with the incorporation of their fresh ground beef patties.
Yeah. I was just really surprised with McDonald's and their philosophy. They're trying to bring better product to their customers, and they kind of have this philosophy of the simpler the better. And so I thought it was really impressive the way they designed everything. Whoever was in charge of designing everything that went into it, from the clamshell grills, and you'll hear about that. That's pretty fun to talk about. The different colored gloves that they use specifically, and the containers that they use to indicate that the employees are dealing with a raw product, which is blue. They use blue gloves and blue containers. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So what will we hear, Lee, in this interview? Give us a little bit of a rundown.
So we were invited to go into the back of their kitchen to see how the operation, how their line works from making a sandwich, but also we were welcomed back into their fridge area to see how they store the meat and then take the meat from the fridge to the grill, then from the grill to the sandwich, and then sandwich to the customer.
Yeah, it wasn't even to the grill. It was like they had a grill side refrigerator.
Yeah, so refrigerator to grill side refrigerator, from that refrigerator to the grill, and then to the hamburger, to the sandwich, to the product, then to the customer. The first segment was that.
And then Lee actually got to make a burger.
It was horrible. I didn't scrape it. I didn't scrape it well enough.
So because of the fact that this clamshell grill, and I don't know if we're gonna hear. I don't know if we what we put in there into the interview, but Lee,
you hear the sizzle.
You hear the sizzle, and because both grill plates are heated, so you get a really nice sear on both sides. But in order to flip it, you do have to flip it, right?
You do.
At least once so that you can season one of the sides. He didn't quite.
I didn't, the spatula that they use
is a scraper.
It's a big spatula.
Yeah.
And so you have to
get under it.
And I didn't get under hard enough.
It was pretty funny because they, I think Preston made fun of you a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lee got to make one and we got to try it. It was delicious. And then Preston walked me through the entire process again. So you'll be able to hear how they work as employees. And it was rather an impressive, efficient workflow. I was very impressed with the design of how they get that many sandwiches out the door. It was very impressive. We hope you enjoy this interview and this kind of different type of interview that we've had, different type of field trip that we had. It's going to have a lot of ambient noises because we were in a working restaurant that was still going, and we were there just as guests, kind of in the background and able to peek into what was going on. So we hope you enjoy it. Okay, we're headed back and we're in the McDonald's. So we're following Preston. He's one of the area manager folks. Hi, everybody. Hello. Excuse us. Hi. Hello.
All right, so this is the highly functioning kitchen. This kitchen can put out thousands and thousands and thousands of sandwiches per day. Fresh beef coming into the mix is kind of a whole new logistic for McDonald's. We're very excited about it, obviously. It's something that our consumers have been asking for. To make this happen, there was a lot of different things that had to go on. The training regimen was really intense. We made sure to cross every T and dot every I. Every single employee that works at a McDonald's in the state of Utah went through thorough training with a high focus on food safety. Fresh beef is a little more volatile than frozen, and so we had to make sure that everybody understood the importance of making sure that the temperatures are hit every single time. And so every employee on ours has kind of had an elevated awareness as far as food safety because of this whole fresh beef transition. There was a lot of equipment that was needed to be purchased. Every restaurant had to buy a brand new grill side refrigerator that can make sure that that beef is always maintained at under 40 degrees. And what else?
From delivery of the truck, does it get stored at grill side, or is it stored at a different refrigerator in the back and then every hour refreshed, or?
All right, so the delivery trucks come in and they have monitoring systems on them to ensure that it never, ever goes over the 40-degree mark. Typically, we receive it at about 33 or 34, 35 degrees, and we unload it off the truck. It has to be verified by a manager that it's at the right temperature, and from there it goes directly into our walk-in cooler, which I can show you that in a minute as well. The walk-in cooler then is a commercial large refrigerator that's easily able to keep the temperature in that safe zone of 34 to 40 degrees. Then before it's brought up front to be used, it's staged in the back in containers that are blue in color to kind of specify this is raw fresh beef product, just to make sure that there's no confusion with anything else. And it has to be pre-staged in those containers before it can leave the walk-in refrigerator and come up to the grill side refrigerator. We're selling quite a few of these these burgers now. So most of the staging actually goes on back there, and then it just gets replenished as needed up front.
Wonderful.
I do have a quick question. You mentioned that the Utah, all the workers here in Utah, or all the franchises in Utah, were trained up on it. We're kind of a starter market area, is that right? So this will be all this training will actually go out to all the other states, is that correct?
Correct. So we were one of the initial training markets. We were one of the second or third, I believe, that actually went through and rolled this. Currently, the rest of the nation is going through that process right now, and everyone is already on fresh beef, if I'm not mistaken, at this point right now.
Great, thank you. Okay, we'll follow you.
Okay.
We're about to walk into the freezer cooler. Well, we'll probably go into the cooler part.
So you can see that the cooler is maintained at 35 degrees to make sure that we're always in that safe zone.
How often do you guys do checks on the cooler?
So we do a full food safety on every single possible product that we sell in the restaurant twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. And then before each shift, each manager goes through and verifies that all of the refrigerators are at the right temperature. All right.
We're walking in. Ooh.
I love it in here. I'm a big guy, though, so. All right, so the fresh beef, again, another food safety step. It has to be stored in its own separate area. It is allowed to be stored with our fresh whole eggs. So you can see that it's the only thing that it's allowed to be next to is the shell eggs. We are selling quite a bit more of this product, like I said now. So when we initially made room for it, it was pretty easy to find the space for it, but a good problem to have. We're selling more of it, so now we've got to kind of reinvent and reconfigure the fridges to accommodate all the product. But you can see we're stocked up and ready to sell a lot of quarter pounders.
That is awesome. Logistically speaking, then, you really are going to have to get new fridge space. Well, maybe would you have to expand refrigerators too, or add that type of thing?
Depending on the restaurant configuration, this particular restaurant had a big enough one that we were just able to clear some storage space. But in some restaurants, yes, we had to get creative, add additional refrigeration in order to make this happen.
Hey.
Which sandwiches are on the fresh meat?
So there's the traditional quarter pounder, everyone's favorite. There's the double quarter pounder. All of the signature crafted have a beef option as well.
I love those signature crafted ones. Okay, this is awesome.
I was joking when I said you could interview him in the fridge. Like, we are interviewing Preston in the fridge. Like, how cool is that?
I totally love it because I'm getting some ambient sound.
I dig it in here. This is good.
This is impressive. Like,
Culinary school, I went off to the...
Yeah. It's even colder in that one, by the way. That's the freezer. That's the freezer. That's 0 or lower.
so you really didn't need to do very much in order to configure anything. It's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah, just rearrange a little bit and like I said, for this restaurant, it was rearranging. Others, It was a chore and had to purchase more refrigeration to make it happen.
Gotcha.
So I don't know how big of a volume this store does, but the stores that have quite a bit more volume in hamburgers being sold, how much of, like, percentage-wise would this change the hamburgers? Like, hey, you know, all of a sudden 75% of all the hamburgers sold now have to be the fresh, or is that a big problem? Like, hey, you know, we had to, at this downtown Salt Lake McDonald's, we had to build 2 new fridges.
So this is one of the busier McDonald's actually in the area, yes. In the state, it's probably in the top 10% or so. And what we've seen is typically before this, about 20% of our sandwiches sold were the quarter pound sandwiches. But with this, even without advertising, because we just recently started the advertising, we've seen a huge lift. We're up 38% was the last number that I saw, increase in fresh beef and quarter pounder sales. We attribute a lot of that to the fresh beef and the actual finished product. It's so much better that way. So to answer your question, the percentage of the overall quarter pounders that are going out the door now, I don't know the exact number, but it has lifted substantially. And quarter pound usage itself, just at this restaurant, for example, is up 38%.
As long as we're here and I'm seeing dipping sauces, and my family is a big Rick and Morty fan, can you tell me about the Szechuan sauce coming back?
It was a huge hit when we brought it back in a few limited restaurants last year. And so they brought it back this year, and it went almost before we could get it advertised. It was very big again. So,
is it a limited offering?
It is a limited time offering, yes.
See, that's what I think is really smart. They do limited offerings on things, and people, it's like there's a cult following for certain things.
The McRib.
People love it. Okay. So is there anywhere else we need to cover, Preston? We're following you.
Make a sandwich? Yeah, you want to go?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Okay. It's Lee. Okay, Lee's gonna make us a sandwich.
So we've just got different colored gloves to designate for handling raw product and completed product. So he's gonna put on the blue gloves right now and lay some fresh beef down.
Hey, let's do this.
I'm grabbing the quarter patties, and they're single.
Lined with paper. Yep.
Lined with paper.
Got one there and one there.
Laying down the patties on the griddle.
Now remove one of those gloves. Touch this black button to close the clamshell. Now take the other glove off. Got to get those raw gloves off as soon as you can. Throw them in the garbage.
Excuse me.
Now here comes the tricky part. This cooks pretty quick. It'll take 65 seconds or so to cook. When this pops up, you've got this spatula right here,
Okay.
it's putting a really good sear on that burger right now. So you got to really get into it with two hands and really get under it.
All right.
Try
All
to
right.
do one solid fluid motion.
And it pops up automatically.
It'll
when
pop
it
up
hits?
automatically when it's ready. You'll get under that sear and cut that sear right off the grill, and then flip it over, both of them, and then we'll season the patties.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, so I put the patties down, and then you close the clam, and it is cooking it on the griddle.
What is this?
And it's called a clam.
It's a clamshell grill. Clamshell grill.
And so heat it on one side, heat it on both sides.
Both sides.
Heat it on both sides. And once it's done cooking, it will automatically pop up.
Correct.
Going to scrape it, then flip it.
Yep.
And then do the same process.
You'll flip both of them. We'll season them and pull them off the grill.
Wonderful.
So Preston was mentioning that there is going to be a nice sear. You guys, that's what we're all about.
Oh, yeah. They look beautiful.
Get under it. Flip it. Okay. Really get into it. There you go. Now look how beautiful that sear is when you don't skin it. Season it with the gun. Just hold it over and squeeze the trigger. Again. Okay. Now pull it.
So
Pull
what?
the patties. Yep, right there. Pull the patties and set them on your...
I ruined my patty.
So put one here.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Beautiful sear.
Beautiful. Not beautiful.
You left the beautiful sear on the grill on that one.
Yeah, all the flavors on the
Second
grill.
try, that's not too bad though. Okay.
All right.
So now let's get you into some prep, some
Wonderful.
white gloves for prepping a sandwich. You can make your own sandwich.
So you guys didn't hear this, but Lee didn't do so good on the first try. He has to really get into it because you can't leave the sear on the grill, and that's what he did on the first burger. He left it. All the good caramelization and Maillard reaction. It was sad.
Too bad Ike's not here to school Lee because he's been a short order cook.
The frown will go on this side with the face down. So, nope, other way. Just like that. Just that top part. This one goes in this side.
Wonderful.
Okay.
They will toast.
It will toast. Pop
They're gonna
out.
look beautiful.
You're gonna make a double quarter pounder, I understand, right?
I am.
Here's a double quarter pounder box.
I've got my corrugated cardboard box.
You'll place the top part of the bun right there and the bottom right there.
All right.
This is a model of efficiency.
This kitchen has to be very efficient to put out the amount of sandwiches that it does throughout the course of the day.
Seriously, it's
You a
impressive.
mustard guy?
I am.
Okay, pick up that gun.
Pick up the gun.
Yep. Typically it's a one shot, but you can go extra if you'd like. We customize if you need to.
You like mustard.
Okay. Ketchup is a shot to the side. If you notice, there's a little groove right there. So when you push that down, if you push it over to the side, it'll give you the perfect amount of ketchup for your quarter pounder sandwich.
So put it down.
Push it to the side.
There it
Just
is.
like
Oh.
that. Perfect amount of ketchup.
Woo!
Typical build is slivered onions.
Grab them with my hands.
Grab them with your hands. You've got the prep gloves on, so you're good to go. Okay, that's a little extra onion, but I like extra onion myself.
I like my onions.
Okay. Pickles.
Is it 3?
2 is the standard, but
Two's
we
the
will
standard.
accommodate extra pickles
I'm-
for anybody that wants them.
I like the pickles.
Okay.
All right.
And now the regular build is cheese and you're done.
Cheese and done.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're going to
Okay.
do.
So you need a piece of cheese on top of your condiments,
On top.
and you'll
Okay.
place another piece of cheese on top of the hill.
Oh,
Oh.
thank you.
Your fresh beef just came off the grill. Here's the tongs.
Pretty hot.
You're going to put that piece of fresh beef right on top.
That one looks
Transfer
a lot
the
better.
cheese over there in
Ah.
a star pattern. You can use your fingers. And make sure it's in a star pattern. Very good.
And I loaded it up on top of the wrong bun.
You're fine. So now, there's one more step. These quarter pounders are so juicy that you have to give it its own special packaging. So you put that the heel on top, grab the sandwich, tuck it in that. Okay? Let's get a different box.
Nah, I'm going
Spilled
to eat
some
it.
Okay, you're fine.
I'm going to eat it.
Okay, set it in there, close it up. All right, now go tell me how good that sandwich is.
It's going to be good right now.
This is so impressive.
Cooks it pretty quick.
It cooks it so fast, and really that caramelization is so pretty.
Good sear. It's very important to keep the grill clean, so between each run, the grill gets scraped and squeegeed.
which is really nice. So you guys, I am looking at a large, it's quite a large grill, and there are a series of these clamshell grills on top too, so that'll cook top and bottom. It's super efficient. And then Preston here is actually scraping it down and scraping the top part as well of the clamshell. Okay, so I'm going to get out of the way because he is going to go through the process and I'm going to walk through it. He is putting on the blue gloves, which is an indication that he is handling the fresh meat. He's going into the the fridge that is right next to the grills, just right there. And he's got both of them. He's grabbing onto the piece of paper, dropping them onto the grill, removing the gloves, and one quick swift motion, he closes the clamshell, tosses his gloves, and it's down. It's pretty impressive. This is good technology.
It's good stuff. 72 seconds, I can cook the perfect quarter pounder patty.
It really is, you guys. And I will probably have some pictures and stuff like that. But so we've talked about something called the Maillard reaction, or that caramelization that you get, and that's exactly what happens with this clamshell. Yep. Oh yeah. So I don't know if you heard this, but Preston is going to go in next. He is going to, because it has created such a great caramelization and sear on it, he is going to take a scraper and really go at it. He is going to scrape down that and make sure he pulls off that yummy sear and crunch to it.
All right.
Here it goes.
Here goes nothing.
Seasoning's going down, and right onto the fresh beef patty trays, and then into the production.
Put that on the production line and put directly onto a sandwich at that point.
It is so good. And then he's got, he's gonna make one. Preston, you're really good at this.
Been doing it for 24 years. I hope I'm good at it. All right, quarter pounder bun goes into the rapid toaster. About 12 seconds later, that'll be ready to go.
And there's like a spot for the top and the bottom, you guys. Once again, super efficient.
As efficient as it can be. Gotta be. All right, we're making a double quarter pounder here, so getting my box ready for the bun. Typical build is 1 shot of mustard, 1 shot of ketchup, 5 to 8 slivered onions, and 2 pickles.
And those can be custom ordered, right, Preston?
Everything that we make can be custom ordered, absolutely. 1 shot of mustard, 1 shot of ketchup, 5 to 8 onion slivers, 2 pickles separated so that we can get as much coverage as possible, 2 pieces of cheese, which will be starred for the appearance. And let me grab my fresh beef. Hot off the grill, it's still steaming. Lay down patty number 1, patty number 2, and tuck it in this nice little envelope because it's a juicy, juicy burger. And there's the presentation for the customer.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
And you slide it on down the bin.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Did you take a bite yet? No. That one's more. You're technically not.
You guys, that was such a really cool, quick process. And it's interesting how this kitchen, as kind of compact and efficient as it is bustling, and they are getting stuff done. And it's impressive that they've gotten more of those refrigerated type of things, refrigerators next to the grill tops and such.
All right, Preston, how is the grill calibrated, and what changes had to be done for cooking in 72 seconds?
So initially we brought in more grill clams. We changed out some of the grills and brought in a 3 clam grill for increased capacity, knowing that we would sell more. And then once we actually started the fresh beef, we fine-tuned every single grill in the entire region to ensure that the cleanliness, like it was basically in a brand new state. So the platens got reconditioned and perfectly shiny silver flat. The platen is the upper clam that comes down and cooks. There's multiple different zones on each clam that get calibrated to precise within a degree of the actual temperature that it's reading out. There's also a thing called a gap. So there's the platen that comes down. It has to be gapped so that it's the exact same distance on each four corners. And once you get all of those different elements combined together and you get it perfect, that's when you're able to get that perfect sear on the patty. And if you lose one of those components, you lose that perfect sear, and then we have to call and have a technician check it again and make sure that it's perfect again.
So, Preston, how long does it take from raw meat to perfectly seared patty?
So it varies depending upon the grill, obviously, but we're getting around 70 seconds for a perfectly seared patty.
70 seconds. Your toast at home takes longer than 70 seconds.
It has to be quick to be able to serve these awesome burgers in the drive-thru. So our customers expect fast. So.
Okay, I'm about to bite into the sandwich that I made. The failed patty was replaced by a proper patty.
Sharon, are you going for it?
It has a lot of juice that comes with it. The meat is really soft.
Oh, that's good.
You can tell that. You can tell that. I was going to say you can tell that. I've been holding mine for 10 minutes, but it's still hot as can be, and you can tell that the juice has been nicely, distributed. So, logistically, we could fly and drive meat anywhere in the country overnight. Is it sort of broken down into regions like, hey, Intermountain West will get the meat from this packaging plant, the West Coast, Texas, or is it like, hey, we've got a central place and we can efficiently really overnight fresh meat every single day?
So there's multiple different places that distribute the meat to us, and I don't know exactly how many there is, but they've got a target window of, I believe it has to be in our restaurant between 7 days from the time that they grind it. So that gives us a chance to have another week or so of usage out of it, and then McDonald's is always way overly cautious with code dates and stuff, so we discard it after 2 weeks of it being in the refrigerator, which it's under reduced oxygen packaging, and we're uber safe on it. But yeah, there's multiple different places so that we can keep it as fresh as possible.
Yeah, that was one thing I didn't point out actually when I was looking at the bins. The fresh meat, fresh beef came in these blue bins, these blue plastic bins, but within the bins, the meat was packaged in like a sealed up plastic container that, like you said, reduces the oxygen that is exposed. The meat is exposed to, so keeping it fresher for longer, I suspect.
Absolutely, everything we can do to reduce any chance of any food safety incidents.
So I noticed that there was only one grill side refrigerator. Do you suspect that you're going to have to expand that and get another one at some point in time?
So the way that we get around that is we stage them in the walk-in refrigerator, and what's in that grill side refrigerator is about what we need for 2 hours, and that just gets replenished on every couple of hours.
Okay, so you just kind of have a nice flow for that anyway. So okay, well you guys already know what you're doing here. So
do you want the extra pickle?
Yeah, I do. Hold on a second. I'll let you. I'm gonna eat while Lee records. I'm going to eat, but I'm not going to put food
Good, huh?
on the recording.
And it was sitting there for a minute. It was still hot. Oh, yeah, it's good stuff.
How was it, Sharon?
It was really tasty.
No food sounds. I'm not putting food sounds on there.
This was the juiciest McDonald's burger I think I've ever had. So there is quite a difference between the fresh and the frozen meat, I will say that.
Glad to hear it. That's one of the objectives for sure. Hot and juicy.
So I lived in Russia for a little bit, and they had in one of the cities I lived in, 2 McDonald's, and it was the only 2 McDonald's in that area. And they had a sandwich called the Big and Tasty. And it was, whenever I could get into those McDonald's, I would go get the Big and Tasty. And all the Russians would love the Big and Tasty.
We used to do the Big and Tasty here as well, and we still have the ingredients to do it. So if you find someone old enough like me, I could still make you one.
You could do the Big and Tasty.
I could make you one.
Lee, what's in the Big and Tasty?
It was Russian deliciousness. So there was no vodka or cigarette butts, but Winter?
So Preston, I'm curious how with the kind of the special crafted burgers, that's probably a little bit. Which ones can we do the fresh beef on? And do you just put that as part of just one of the special orders of the burger?
So yeah, there's different signature crafted burgers, and those vary depending on the time of year. There's a pico guacamole. We've done a honey Dijon, maple bacon Dijon, a barbecue as well. So, and on those, we give you the options to choose the bun that you would like. We also give you the option to choose the protein, grilled chicken, crispy chicken, or the fresh beef. Fresh beef is the biggest seller out of all of them, and it's just one way to further customize your own burger at McDonald's. Kind of. Signature sriracha was really good as well.
Yeah, I've done the maple Dijon mustard one. We've done. Was there a Memphis one?
Not here, but I did hear that there was one somewhere else. There was a Memphis.
All right. I think we were traveling to San Francisco and we got the Memphis signature one, and then I also did the Pico de Gallo one or something like that.
Are you a sriracha guy?
I am a sriracha fan.
Try that one. It's delicious.
The sriracha one. What are we, a bunch of hipsters nowadays?
I guess. If it tastes good, I can deal with it.
That's right. All right, I've got Preston and Jane with me, and I'm going to ask them their favorite fact about McDonald's.
So my favorite fact about McDonald's is the fact that somewhere near 70% of all owner-operators started as crew. Every single person that works at McDonald's has a chance to become something because of it.
And you were saying that you started yourself when you were 16?
I started when I was 16. They wouldn't even let me flip burgers yet. I had to wash dishes for a while and go through the ranks, but I've gone through every single position, and now I am an area supervisor, and I supervise 7 restaurants, and working towards the next step as well.
Sweet. Jane, fun fact about McDonald's?
I always tell everybody that when you work for McDonald's, you have the opportunity to be anything that you want, except a doctor. So, for example, if you wanted to be in construction, or if you wanted to be in advertising or marketing or legal, you have the opportunity to do that. And with our Choice to Opportunity, you can have part of that paid for by the company that you work for. It's awesome.
Yeah, like it's a global brand, and they do everything like you were saying. Maybe there is a doctor in corporate staff or something.
Maybe.
Well, thanks for joining us today for our show. You can find us at hungersquared.com, on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play Music.
Hey, you guys, thanks again to McDonald's for being our sponsor of this episode and inviting us to this super fun event. You guys, leave us a rating and review on iTunes. We love that. It helps other people discover the podcast. And we'd love it if you shared this podcast with your food nerdy friends and family. We just love to invite more people into what we're digging into and getting nerdy about, I guess. Join us next week for our next episode of Food Nerdery.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hungry squared, yeah, hungry squared.